In a polytheistic culture, how do you prove that your god is the best? Without comparing sizes. You know what I mean. Well, try stealing everyone else's theology. In this video, we look at the Babylonian epic of creation, the 🀭Elish, and consider how it adopted other theological concepts that were popular in Mesopotamia. Like, subscribe, and come along for the ride. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Sex and Eroticism in Mesopotamian Literature. This is episode 5, Cosmogony in Practice, in which we will look at the myth 🀭Elish. So first, I'll provide a brief overview of exactly what 🀭Elish is. Then we will look at southern tradition present in the 🀭Elish, and the northern tradition present in the 🀭Elish. I know, very imaginative. The 🀭Elish. This is most frequently called the Babylonian creation myth. That does not mean that there is only one Mesopotamian creation myth. I pointed this out in a previous video, I think. Mesopotamia had many different creation myths. This is just the most famous and one of the most complete. It dates to the latter part of the 2nd millennium BCE, and this is the work of a poet who viewed Babylon as the centre of the universe, and Babylon's city god Marduk as the deity responsible for organising that universe. It also, like suggests, represents kind of a merging of the northern and southern theologies that we've covered in our previous 2 videos, so I thought I'd just take a few minutes to go over exactly which parts of the theologies are present in this mythological composition. First, we'll look at the southern Eridu tradition. The 🀭Elish opens with 2 water deities, 𝀭and Tiamat, who are probably the single mother goddess, Namu, split into 2, and Like makes the point that the dichotomy here is actually quite contrived. While we may be tempted to view 𝀭and Tiamat as the divine pairing seen in the northern theology, this seems to be the conception of the Engor, that is Namu, split into 2 separate beings. And what's crucial here is that 𝀭and Tiamat are both water deities. They are the watery divine couple that themselves are the primary constituents of the universe. Also interesting is that there is no sexual reproduction as we see in the northern theology. Instead, they are fertile waters that mingle together to create the world. This may be a sexual metaphor, but the 🀭Elish, generally speaking, is devoid of sexual metaphor, so it might be a little bit odd to see it in this particular instance. Again, the crucial point here is the overtone of watery fertility that is very definitely from the southern tradition. The northern tradition. So after 𝀭and Tiamat mingle their waters, however we choose to take that, successive divine generations are then brought forth until the gods that are more well known from mythology are born. So we have the heterosexual reproduction of later generations, and then the god Marduk, after defeating Tiamat, splits her to create heaven and earth, which is again this very northern duality that we see here. There's no sexual reproduction per se, but a very clear heaven and earth dichotomy. This one is short but sweet, I hope you forgive me. In summary, the 🀭Elish exhibits features from both the north and the southern theologies. Whether or not this is a deliberate cohesion or attempt at cohesion, I'm not going to comment on. It just shows an interesting combination of literary motifs. We do see the central importance of water as a force of creation, as is common in the southern theology, but also the duality of heaven and earth and the male-female pairings that is very common in northern theology. We see that while cosmogonies varied widely, it does appear that the fundamental purpose of sex as a means of production was recognised and understood, and that this principle was, somewhat unsurprisingly, then applied to the creation of the universe. Next time, we are going to look at Enki's phallic symbolism, and you know with a title like that it's going to be fun. And remember, resist poor scholarship. Always ask, how do you know that?